Welcome to Market of the Moment.
And who are you?
I got that big welcome out. I mean, does it really matter at this
that
point?
was right from there it came
Exactly.
out. I loved it. It was fantastic.
So I am Don Chakowski, the Director of Channel Sales for Fidelity National Title, and I am here with
Sharon Terhune, the Vice President and Sales Manager for Fidelity National Title.
We got all this energy today.
I like it.
We all feel good.
I like it.
I wonder why we have so much energy.
We have a lot of energy because I'm still like flying high overhearing somebody speak last week at our sales rally. We were in Las Vegas and got the pleasure of hearing Mr. John Foley speak, and he is the author of this amazing book, Fearless Success. Wow, what a presentation.
It was so amazing.
I am still blown away, and I'm excited. I started reading the book, have not gotten through it yet since we just got back, but very excited to read this. A lot of his presentation talked about, what it takes to be part of a strategic team and the focus and the trust and everything that goes in it. And I just loved it, Don, because that's what we do at Fidelity. Our team, our company culture, all of it is so synergetic of what you have to be a Blue Angel.
They do the demonstrations of the air shows too, by the way.
Right. They're sort of Top Gun.
Yes.
Let's just say
they're Top Gun plus.
You think of Top Gun, but these people are amazing. We have some cool photos we're going to show you of what they had to do. That you see with the planes all stacked upon on top of each other. They're about 18 inches apart from each other, guys. Think about that. Think about the concentration, the trust of your colleagues you would have to have the confidence to put a plane like this all stacked on top of each other that close. It's unbelievable.
So I think my takeaways from his presentation was about, so those things were really cool, but it was all about the preparation and the debriefing, right? So what they do before and then what they do afterwards to make sure that part is just the seamless part, that they're so well practiced, there's no worries, they trust, he kept talking about, we trust the person next to us with our life.
It's crazy.
So, when we take that and we look at it in sales, it's one of those things where, we all have to trust our partners and our people that we're in business with to make sure that our transactions, our client opportunities, their customer experiences are all being handled together. Now, maybe we're not, flying at 500 miles an hour and 18 inches apart,
right?
But can feel like that sometimes.
I think he said 800 miles an hour. I think he said it was crazy. I'm like, that is crazy, crazy, crazy times. But you're 100% right. And we actually got to take a look at some film that he had in the debriefing room. Unbelievable, what they have to go through and how humble they are. That was a big piece of it. When they admit what they do wrong and how they grow from that. But again, this is how they created that incredible culture of trust, respect, and what made them do what they do so well. And like you said, they knew they had other people's lives in their hands. So it's kind of crazy.
And they wrapped up every time when they were talking about what they did. They wrapped it up with glad to be here. That they were glad to be.
So we're going to end today with glad to be here.
Love it.
Yes,
awesome.
We are. So John, thank you. Highly recommend. Take a look at it. Great guy, great book. I'm sure he's got some stuff on YouTube or things that you can watch too, I'd imagine.
For sure. Well, actually, I think there's an opportunity to subscribe to a newsletter. I get it already each week. So there's a lot of stuff there too. So
awesome.
Okay, I think we're going to check in with Monique Walker this week, and we're going to talk about some of the things that Monique is doing for prospecting. And I've had some opportunities to participate with her around some prospecting things lately, and actually watch her coaching people and all that. She's just amazing.
She's amazing.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and check in with Monique, and we'll be right back.
Hey, folks. This week we're doing something a little bit different. Instead of an interview with Monique Walker, we're actually going to visit her last two times that she helped co-host our Smiling and Dialing event and talked about call prospecting. Monique is an amazing prospector and an amazing coach. So I think that there's a lot of value in kind of seeing her in action. So she's been on Smiling and Dialing twice, which we do every Friday morning from 9 to 9:30 on Zoom. All of you are welcome to join us. You can find a link on my Facebook page every Thursday or on the Fidelity Agent Network, our fan page. You can find that link there as well. And we have just different folks on talking about phone prospecting and how they do it. And often we do live, or we don't do live calls, but we actually play recordings of calls of people, and we kind of go back and we talk about the objection handling and that process. So take a look at what Monique did and the successes that she had. If you have any questions about Smiling and Dialing, reach out. Love to get you connected. We've got some great folks coming up. So thank you very much. So good morning, everybody. Welcome to Smiling and Dialing. Today is the 14th of April, and we are joined for part 2 with Monique Walker. And we had Monique on a few weeks ago, and we talked about just the different methodology around prospecting. Our goal was to have some recordings today to listen to, but life happens, and we didn't actually get the recordings. But so when Monique and I were emailing yesterday, we were talking about doing some role playing, and I'm willing to be a guinea pig, and I'm hoping some of you guys will be willing to be as well, and do a little role playing with Monique. And before we actually get into that part, I just want to mention that I was recently with Monique, and she was doing role play with Shane, who's actually on the call with us as well. And I was just like, Monique, I just love your style. I just love it. Like, the way you talked about the need to have a smile in your voice. And I don't want to like spoil all the things you've got coming.
Oh, just spoil it.
Yeah. But I just love it. And like some of those just little things that we don't always think about when we're on a call are some of those most important things. And the parts that we don't think people hear, they really might be the difference.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, there's so much power in your energy and your enthusiasm, your curiosity, your smile. And, first of all, it's like Tony Robbins talks about, it's like our state of our body. So are we sitting down like Christy is right now, like this, making calls? Or do we have our chest up? Are we standing? And are we excited, full of energy?
Yeah, well, and it's funny. So I get with our sales team once a week, and I have 4 different people I make 30-minute call blocks with. And I tell them, like, the ones who are first, like, it may not be our best day. But if I'm rolling for a little while, if you're second, third, or fourth on that, it's pretty funny the way that the energy gets there, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And
it's free, right? Energy is free. We just have to activate it. And really, it's by standing up and smiling. Easy as that. Yeah.
So, okay. So can you tell us, okay, so you talked a little bit, Monique, about that process of getting ready to make the calls. So I've seen you in action. I've seen you at our office making the calls, and you've got that smile, you've got all that happening. So can you tell us about like what that preparation looks like? I was at an event this week, and we talked about up in Vegas with F&F, and we were talking about the importance of preparation and also the importance of debriefing. So the things that you do before and the things that you do after the processes that you're working on. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I've got like 10 points. I mean, I think the most important things, and we did talk about that in the first section, is like, number one, once you put on your headset. So here's my headset. So once I do this, like I'm on, because I already know who I'm going to call. I'm going to start with expired. I'm going to then call canceled. I'm going to call my hot leads. I'm going to roll through my probates. I'm going to then call my past clients. So I already know time blocking. By 8:30, I'm on to the next source. By 9:30, next source, and so on and so on. So prepare the night before with who you're going to call and what sources, and time block those sources. That's like number one. Next is like, have your scripts ready. Like, I literally still use a script book, right? So, and I have it right in front of me for my expireds. Even though I've been calling them for 18 years, I sometimes like to get off track, and sometimes the seller will get you off track. So having those scripts right in front of you will help you keep on track, and you just sound more intelligent anyways when you use scripts, because they're concise and they ask questions. So selling is not telling, right? Selling is asking questions so you can stay in control of the conversation and ultimately just help them faster.
Right. Well, and I think that's important. One of the things that we talked about when we were doing some role play with Shane, and Shane, thank you again for your patience with us that day. When we were doing that role playing, I liked the way that you talked about, when people take you off track. And how to respond to that. So maybe you can give us a little insight into that. Maybe we can practice that here in a moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Just think of it this way, and I'm going to go through just like 10 points right before we role play together. Yeah. Always, you're going to approve right? You're gonna repeat what they say. Like, oh, so Don, where will you be moving to next once you sell the property?
Yeah. So, I haven't really decided yet. I was thinking, maybe someplace in Scottsdale.
Oh, Scottsdale. That's really exciting. And what takes you to Scottsdale? So you're repeating Scottsdale. And
yeah.
then you're approving. Like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. So just think, whatever question, whatever response you get, repeat and approve. Now, you don't want to be a parrot, so maybe not do that every single time, but perhaps every other time, so the prospect knows that you're listening.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. And a good way to be connected with them, right?
Exactly. Yep. Yeah. And Don, if you want to ask me some questions, otherwise I'll roll through a couple points that I think are like pivotal.
Yeah, no, please. Yeah, please.
Okay.
Let's go through that, and then and you guys, I'm hoping that I can ask a couple of you guys. I'm willing to volunteer as well to role play with Monique. Like I said, I've seen her coach people through, and it's been amazing. And I think we can all win through this. So, okay, Monique,
Awesome.
yeah, do you want to roll through your other points?
Okay, so number one, you guys turn off your phone and computer. Don't check your voicemails or emails until after prospecting is complete. Does anybody do that right now?
No.
We welcome the distractions, right? We're like, ooh, somebody's calling me. I better pick that up. Like, ooh, my client is calling me. I better pick that up. No, they can wait. They can you leave a message. If that brings you massive anxiety, you can always use like the 50 minutes. In 60 minutes, you're going to call for 50. You're going to take 10 minutes off. If you have high anxiety and you need to call somebody back, call them back within those 10 minutes. But I really try in the morning. It's only about prospecting. I'm not handling any kind of issues until after 12 o'clock. Next, most of our distractions that come up during prospecting are self-imposed, right? So clean up your prospecting area to keep your mind super clear. Do you guys sense that? Like when your desk is full of stuff, doesn't your mind think, oh my gosh, I'm so busy. I don't have room for more.
Right.
And then when it's clear, I'm like, I have so much room. When my desk is clear, I'm like, I'm open for business. Right. So keep that desk nice and clear. Next is start prospecting at the same time every day and finish at the same time. So have a conversation with your accountability partner. Oh, that's so important to have an accountability partner before you start and then once you finish.
So Monique, if somebody doesn't have an accountability partner right now, what should that look like and how should they identify that person?
That's a good question. So the last 18 years, I've had so many, and it's really finding somebody that's like-minded, somebody that also wants to get better at prospecting, somebody who has similar goals, or if you can find somebody that's doing more than you, that's like the gold, right? Yeah. So it's got to be someone who's on the same mindset.
Okay.
Right. And so it works something like this. Like I've done, okay, I'm going to do 30 contacts, by 12. And if I don't hit my 30 contacts, then I owe you $50. Something as simple as that. And, we all have $50 to give away, but it just stings, right? You don't want to. Next is, since we all get bored, because this is at a certain level, this will become repetitious boredom because you're saying a lot of the same things over and over again, right? Focus on the long-term payoff, right? Like I constantly have to remind myself, I'm not just making contacts, right? I'm here to find an appointment. I'm here to find somebody that needs me.
Sometimes I struggle.
Versus thinking about the contact. So always have your goals posted in front of you when you're prospecting. I have a vision board. I look at it. I have my goals posted all over. I've got family pictures. So all of that really helps. Next is remember the physical and mental environment that we keep while prospecting is critical to the results that we get. So physically, I really encourage people to stand up, right? I like to have music playing. And then when I'm prospecting, like my family, because I work from home, knows not to bother me. So you definitely have to train the people around you, like husbands, partners, kids, nannies, whoever it is. This is money time, right? This is generation time.
Excellent.
Next is you guys keep your ego in check. So there's no need to tell prospects how great you are. I tried to minimize that kind of conversation because ultimately they don't care that Monique sells 100 houses. They just want their house to be sold. So how are we going to accomplish that? Everything in prospecting has to do with numbers. So if you don't know your numbers, you can't go to the next level. So we at the Mike Ferry organization, I say we because I have a real estate coach. We have a numbers analyzer, and every single day I plug my numbers in. So at the end of the week, month, year, I can see how many contacts I have to make to actually go on an appointment, to get a listing, to get a closing. So that's the next level.
You know, Monique, and I think that's so important because I just think that helps people to like know, like it's like kind of that goal setting thing, right? And I know when we first started doing the Smiling Down, I talked about the statistics of like the skip trace numbers and all that. And when you know that you have a 6 to 8% contact rate on skip trace phone numbers, that makes it pushing through those junk numbers a little easier because
Exactly.
you're not expecting a 50% contact rate. You're not expecting a 75% contact rate.
Exactly.
You know, you have to work through some crappy numbers to get to the good ones, right?
Exactly.
And so I think that there's a lot to be said when you have expectations around that.
Exactly. There's a couple other, I'm just going to say two more and then let's start into role playing. While prospecting, stay mentally focused on the following thought. There is somebody in my marketplace that wants to buy or sell today. Let's find them, right? Every no brings me that much closer to a yes. That is so true. And then prospecting is a simple process, but it's not an easy one, right? There's no shortcuts to any place worth going. So, stick to, so for me, my magic number is 30. So I know that if I have 30 conversations, all of my goals and all of my team's goals are most likely going to come true. I just have to stick to that 30.
Right.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And then a little bonus point. So we have a role on my team that it's the 3-3-3 role. So when you're prospecting, so after the phone rings 3 times, then you hang up. Once you have called them 3 times with no response, throw them away. And then when you have talked to them 3 times and don't get an appointment, throw them away. So that's the 3-3-3 rule.
Love it. And you mind if I ask why those specific numbers, like why? So the 3 rings I get, so if you call 3 times and they don't answer, then we're letting them go as well.
Yeah, you've got to have
database, right? These are like cold call prospects, right?
Yeah, and cold. I like to call them a little warm because we're calling expired and cancels for sell by owner, probates, people that have like raised their hand.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's 6 million people here, right, Don? Like in the Phoenix area.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's just trying not to hang on to, old leads that aren't going to do anything. Mike Ferry says like the best way to prospect is have a big trash can right next to you and just keep throwing people away until you find the good ones.
I love that. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's time to give this a shot. Let's see how we do.
Awesome.
All right. So you mind if I give you a call, Monique?
That'd be great. Who are we calling?
I'm calling you. I'm a realtor, and I am calling, and you guys I'm not a realtor, so I'm probably gonna be really bad at this. So, but I would like to just jump in, and I would love to hear Monique's feedback on our conversation. So, ring. I'm calling. You're expired, by the way, an expired listing.
Oh, you're gonna be the realtor. Okay.
Yes, I'm giving it a shot here.
Awesome. Okay.
I'm diving head first right in, Monique. Ring.
Hello.
Hey, is this Monique Walker?
It is.
Hey, Monique, my name is Don Chakowski, and I work for Fidelity National Title. We're a local real estate company. And I saw that you recently had your home listed, and it looks like it didn't sell. And I was just calling to see what was going on with that plant. By the way, I don't have the script in front of me or anything. I'm just off the cuff here. This is risky. And so I was just calling to see what the plan is, though. Did you want to get that home sold? Did you have a place where you wanted to move to? What were you looking to do?
Gosh, you guys are in full effect this morning. You're about the fourth call that I've gotten already.
I know it's, unfortunately, there's kind of a list that gets out there, and some people, they get blown up quite a bit. But I have to tell you, Monique, there's a lot of things I do really different than other agents out there. And I would love to sit down with you and talk to you about what my marketing strategies look like and how I get homes sold.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, we're just what was your name again?
Don.
Don, yeah, we're just a little discouraged. We've been on the market for 6 months. We haven't sold, and I think we just need a little bit of a break now.
Yeah, I understand how the frustrations could be, but can you mind if I ask you, so where were you planning on moving when you did sell this house?
Yeah, we were going to go back to LA. That's where our kids live, but it didn't happen. So we're just gonna take a little breather. It's been a little much.
Yeah. So your kids are in LA though, you mentioned?
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Are they disappointed you guys aren't going to be out there as quickly as they thought?
Yeah, not so much the kids, but the grandkids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, Monique, I would just love to kind of review with you what it is that we do that are different and the kind of results that we get for our clients to help them accomplish their goals. For you, it sounds like being in LA is very important. And, and it kind of stinks that you have to kind of kick that can down the road a bit. And I think that's a problem I can help you solve. And so I would just really like some time, maybe if we just sit down, I won't take more than 30 minutes of your time, just kind of show you what we do and the successes that we've had with past clients.
Yeah. I can certainly talk to my husband about that.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I have a couple openings on my calendar for this weekend, and I was just wondering if maybe I could swing by about 9 o'clock, either tomorrow or maybe a little bit later in the afternoon. I have a 2:30 open as well. Would either of those work for you guys?
We're retired, and my husband's probably a little more frustrated than I am about the whole situation. So I can definitely see if that could work for him.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, why don't I'm going to go ahead and put you down for 9 o'clock tomorrow. And then I'm going to send you a text confirmation as well. So you have all my contact information just to make sure if there's anything that comes up. I'm also going to send you a couple of links. Is this the best number to send a text message to?
It is, yes.
Okay, perfect. So a couple of links that'll show you some of the videos and some of the testimonials of the folks I've worked with in the past and the kind of successes I've had for them. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's fine. I just, can't guarantee you anything, and just got to really confirm it with the husband.
I totally understand. And that's what I'm not looking for. There's no obligation, but I just would love an opportunity to sit down with you guys and show you the difference.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Perfect.
Hey, Don, why don't you prospect for me?
I do love the prospecting. Thank you.
Oh, good job. Good job. All right. All right. Should I give it a go?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Super. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hello. I'm calling about the house on Flower. Is this Don?
Yes, this is.
Hi, Don. This is Monique with Remax. I'm sure you figured out by now that your home came up as an expired listing this morning. And I was calling to see, when do you plan on interviewing the right agent for the job of selling your home?
Monique, I appreciate the call. I've been bombarded by calls this morning. It's just kind of been a lot. Imagine. Yeah, so we're just like, right now, we're just trying to figure out what's going to be next. This was frustrating, and it sounds like it's not a good time in the market and all these other things that, just doesn't seem like it's the right time for us to do this.
Don, I hear that a lot in terms of it not being the right time in the market yet. In the last 30 days, I've actually helped 8 of my sellers get their property sold. But Don, if you sold this home, where were you going to go to next?
Well, I was looking at going back to Chicago.
Chicago. That's exciting. What takes you to Chicago?
That's where I'm from. We have a lot of family out there. So, get back over there.
That's great. So you're kind of going back home.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you. And I know you've been on the market for 6 months, but ideally, when would you like to be there?
Well, I'd like to be there before winter. I don't know how much you know about Chicago winter, but it's not great. And
it is not great.
So moving during winter does not sound good. And that's what I'm a little worried if we were to do something now and we have another 6 months that we're going to be, back to winter time. And, that's really going to be pretty rough for us to get moved.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So before winter is the goal. I can definitely appreciate that. And Don, ultimately, I'm looking at the picture of your home. It looks gorgeous. I mean, what do you think stopped the home from selling?
You know what? I don't know. I feel like, we have a nice looking home, and I feel like our price was really good. And I don't know. I mean, maybe you see what our agent did. I mean, did they do something wrong? Is there something I'm missing?
I'm really glad that you brought that up. How did you happen to pick the agent?
I got them off of a Facebook ad.
Facebook ad. Okay. And then moving forward, Don, what do you think you're looking for in the next agent you choose?
I want somebody to give us the right price and get things done, relatively quickly. I see how like all these houses were selling so fast, and I'm just trying to figure out how we can get the house sold. But our house is worth a lot of money, and we don't want to give that up either.
No, you won't give that up. And I can help you with that, Don. So it sounds like you haven't chosen an agent to work with yet. Is that right?
Yeah, well, I mean, we haven't decided we're going to go back on the market yet either.
Okay. Well, Don, I would love to apply for the job of selling your home. Are you familiar with the techniques that I use to sell homes?
I'm not.
Well, what would be the best time to show you? I actually have some time tomorrow. I know tomorrow is Saturday. If you'd be available at 11, or do you think 1 o'clock would be better?
Monique, I'm not sure I want to do this, but I do appreciate that you've got some different insights. So I guess let's go with 11.
11 o'clock. Okay, super. Let's do that. And just in case you said no, let's not do that. So Don, I've been doing this for about 20 years. And can I share with you what most smart sellers do when their home comes off the market, just like yours and it hasn't sold?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, well, they're definitely interviewing between 1 to 2 top agents, really to compare, marketing, track record, results, because Don, different agents get different results, right?
Yeah, it seems that way. All these other people getting these houses sold.
Exactly. So if I could help you get back on the market and get you sold in the next 30 to 45 days, get you to Chicago before the winter, wouldn't that be the ideal scenario for you and your wife?
Yeah, that would be pretty great.
That would be great. Okay, good. So let's do this. I've got some time in my schedule on Monday. We can meet for just 30 to 45 minutes. I'll lay out all your options and then you and your wife can make the best decision. So does 2 or 3 o'clock work better for you?
Let's go with 2.
2 o'clock? Okay, perfect. And Don, just to better serve you and to be really efficient with our time, I'm just going to go over a couple of quick questions. Do you have like 5 more minutes?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, super. So, and then I'd go into my pre-qualification script.
Excellent.
You want to go into that?
Sure.
It's 9:26.
Yeah, we got about 2 more minutes.
Okay.
And we're going to give people an opportunity for questions. So yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Go roll into questions because the pre-qual is my favorite script. But let's see if anybody else has any other things that we might want to role play or questions.
Yeah. So guys, we would love to hear from you guys. Would love to hear what you guys think. Feedback, what we did good, what we didn't do as well. Would love to hear from you guys what you think.
I think you guys were great. Yeah, I mean, you guys hit all notes. I like both the styles, different, right? But still going back to why are you moving? We've got to dangle the carrot again. I mean, for somebody to put their house on the market and it not to sell, that's a person went through a lot.
Yep.
So they had to make a decision to begin with. And I think most people, when they're out there calling, they don't put their minds in the perspective of the seller. They will eventually list again, because you do not do that unless you are prepared to go.
It's a hassle. Exactly.
Yeah, I've seen it very rare that somebody's like, I'm done, I'm just not selling. It comes down to decision making of who you're going to choose,
Motivation.
and you're going to choose wisely the next time. So
exactly.
Michelle, that's a really good point. All the listing preparation, all the things that everybody goes through, does anybody ever talk about that as part of the script? Like, well, I'm guessing your house is already ready. Does anybody do that? I don't know if that's a thing.
that's a good point.
That's a good point. No, it's not even part of the script, but it's definitely a good talking point.
Yeah. Something to keep in mind. Yeah,
So it sounds like people want us to do the prequel script.
Yes, it looks like that. Yes. All right.
Done. Before I come out, there's just a few questions I'd like to go over with you. Do you have like 5 more minutes?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, awesome. So Don, if what I say makes sense and you really felt comfortable and confident that I can sell your home, are you planning to list your home with me once I come out to see you Monday at 1?
Well, I suppose, I mean, if you're able to fulfill all the things that we need and get the house sold in 30 to 45 days, I guess it would make sense.
Wonderful. Excellent. Now, were you planning to interview more than one agent for the job of selling your home?
Well, until you called, I wasn't interviewing anybody anymore. So I guess maybe we need to have that conversation first.
That's great. I feel fortunate. And so tell me again, you're moving to Chicago. Do you already have a home in Chicago?
No, we haven't started looking. We started looking a little bit, and the house didn't sell. So then we, just stopped that whole process.
Okay, I understand. And the goal is to get you there before winter, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And winter
super.
comes early in Chicago, just in case you don't know that.
So what month is that? So I can put that on my list.
Yeah, so late October, it starts getting pretty cold out there.
October. I'm going to get you there. Perfect. So Don, when I see you, how much do you want to list your home for?
I'm thinking 600. That's
600.
what we're just at. Yeah.
Great. So Don, as a professional real estate agent, I study homes and prices every day. So I assume that you'll list with me at a price that would cause your home to sell, correct?
Yeah, but we're not giving the house away.
Perfect. I won't let you give it away. So good.
Okay.
And Don, what price won't you go below?
Well, I really feel like, the neighbors, they sold their house last year at this time. They sold their house for 600. And my house is even prettier. My kitchen's pink and it's glow in the dark and it's amazing.
My favorite color.
And
Yes.
and so I mean, I feel like people should want my house even more. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So what do you think that number is?
I think 600 is a good number.
Okay, 600. And Don, quick question. Let's just say we list the house. I do my job, which is get you a contract within 30 days. And the offer comes in at 575. Is that a price that you'd consider?
That'd be pretty rough. After they sold for 600 and I've got this great kitchen.
That's right. Something that you might consider, but not super excited.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'd have to see where everything's at by that
Perfect.
point.
Sounds great. Okay. And how much do you owe on the property?
I owe 425.
425. Okay, good for you. Got plenty of equity there. And have you ever thought about selling it yourself?
Yeah, I just don't know how to do all that stuff and get all those things out there. So
Right. Yeah, we'll handle all the details. And will you help finance a home for the buyer, or would you like me to get you all your cash out?
I'd like to get my cash out.
Cash out. Okay, perfect. Now I'm looking at the listing from Betty Jo's MLS. Anything else that you feel like I should know about the property? I know that the fluorescent kitchen is beautiful. Anything else I should know?
No, that's it. I mean, we've got a nice pool and nice neighbors, and we live in a good school district, so everybody kind of likes it around here.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so excited to meet you and see the house. So Don, I'm going to be sending over a packet of information. Will you take a few moments and review it?
Sure.
Okay, super. Well, Don, any other questions that you have for me before I arrive?
I don't think so. I think that's good.
All right, super. So, Don, our meeting's going to take anywhere between, say, 30 to 45 minutes. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. And we're
All
2
right.
o'clock right on Monday?
That's right. I'll look forward to seeing you and your wife Monday at 2 o'clock.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Voila.
I love it. So let me ask you, if I would have said different on the financing, what would that response have been? If I would have said that I don't necessarily need to get all the cash out, were you going to take me down like a seller carry or some kind of thing like that?
Yeah. And then I usually anything that they say is like, oh, that's great. I'll take a note of that. And that'll be the first thing that we talk about when I see you on Monday at 2. So I just want to see what they're thinking.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, and that's, I wanted to do that whole, there's something terrible in my house, but I'm going to try to tell you how much I love it. And so I was just curious how, because I think those are hard things to overcome. People love weird things in their home sometimes that aren't as great as they think.
And you better write those down and you better highlight those while you're walking through the property and get just as excited as they are about their pink kitchen.
Monique, thank you so much. Man, I'll tell you, incredible. Can you imagine being part of her team and getting coached by her on scripts and how to make calls and what she's doing? It is unbelievable. Unbelievable. If you would like to get connected with Monique, just reach out to Don or I. We're more than happy to make an introduction for you because she's welcome. She's happy to share everything with you, and she's an incredible partner. So thank you, Monique. Appreciate you.
Yeah, she was on. So if you watched our Smiling or joined us for Smiling and Dialing on Friday mornings, she's been a couple times on the Fidelity Agent Network Facebook page. Yep. We have recordings of some of the times that she's been on there. So if you want to go check that out as well.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay.
That's great. Well, we would love to go over to Miss Market Master Mindy now, and Mindy, tell us what's going on right now. Like, what's the update?
Hey guys, I'm joining you on location this week as we're wrapping up another Community on Purpose volunteer project at ICANN in Chandler. We're helping kids in our community, and I've stepped away for a few minutes so that I can update you on what's happening in the local real estate market. We are another week into April, and inventory continues to plummet, down another 400 net listings this week, which means that they're going under contract faster than we can add them. We actually crossed the 10,000 listings under contract threshold, an increase of 14% over the last month, which is unheard of for this time of year. Demand is picking up and inventory cannot keep up. These observations alone would indicate continued price increases, lower days on market, and less concessions for buyers as multiple offers start to stack up. The question is, how long will this momentum last? We expected that our peak selling season would extend into the summer, and it appears that our forecast was correct. We're quickly approaching the third quarter, which is typically our sleepiest season in Arizona real estate, but at full steam ahead. Average list to sales price continues to creep up. Canceled contracts are on a steep decline, and the contract ratio has risen from 31 in October of 2022 to 73 in April of 2023, planting us firmly in a hot market. Still talking about a market correction? Well, that ship has sailed. In fact, we're about a year from our peak market in week 15 of 2022 and 7 months from when the market started to stabilize. Prices have already been increasing over the last 4 months, and if you aren't saying, I wish I would have bought sooner, you will be now. We've got to swap the narrative about houses being too expensive with the expectation that they are assets that continue to appreciate, and our monthly budget, credit, and savings will dictate at which price point you're able to enter the market. With the median sales price back up to $425,000 and rental prices stabilizing, competition for occupancy is back in play. Our biggest listing months in Arizona are typically January, February, and October, which means it's going to be a while until we get a boost in inventory. So I'd be checking those pre-qualifications, making those repairs, and doing the homeowner shuffle. I've got to get back to it, guys, so we'll see you later.
Mindy, thank you so much. We appreciate your updates every week, and thank you for all your great insight. All right, well, can't do all these houses, can't move all this stuff without money.
We need some money. I wish it was free again, but it's not.
Yeah, well, I know Amber's working on it hard. I know she's working extra hours, trying to get that as close to free as possible. So Amber Kovarik, what is going on out there in the finance world?
Hey, Amber Kovarik with a quick market update for you. So last week we had the jobs report data come in, and it was a mixed bag. Some good and some not so good information for mortgage interest rates. So the report showed signs that the labor market is cooling, which is good news, but not as fast as the Fed would like. So from that report, we saw the interest rate market go up, giving away almost all of the improvement that we saw from earlier in the week. So this week, interest rates have started on the same trajectory. We're starting with interest rates worsening each day. Now, I'm recording this on Tuesday. Tomorrow is the big CPI inflation report. This is the most important monthly inflation report, and oftentimes more important than the jobs report in this hyper-inflationary environment of the past couple of years. So the expectation is that this report might also be a mixed bag of information. So the report measures core inflation and overall inflation. The Fed watches the core inflation number, which excludes volatile items like food and energy prices. So there's a chance we're going to see that the core number goes up, meaning inflation is increasing, but the overall inflation number is going to come down. And there's a chance that it's going to come down by a good amount. Like if we're sitting around 6% inflation, there's a chance that overall inflation rate may drop to about 5.2%, which would be incredibly good news to show what the Fed is doing with hiking interest rates is working. And then if they know it's working, they should be able to ease up on future interest rates hike. So what we expect to see is volatility, mortgage rates still going up and down, and the direction is really going to depend on whether the market focuses on the core inflation number tomorrow or the overall inflation number. So we'll keep you posted. We're still expecting mortgage interest rates to go lower through the summer months, and I cannot stress enough that the prediction is when interest rates drop, let's say they come down into the mid-5s range, that the buyer demand is going to increase with our very low inventory levels. That is going to cause an increase in demand, increase in prices, and it's going to make it very challenging for our buyers to buy. So the answer is to buy now, use our payment protection program to ensure that you can refinance at no cost when interest rates drop. Please reach out for any questions.
Well, thank you so much, Amber. Appreciate your update as always, and your knowledge of the lending world and how you work really hard for your partners on no matter what the interest rates are and what's going on out there. You're so strategic in helping get those transactions closed and finding the right financing for someone. So thank you so much for that. Well, Don, I think we're wrapping up another week of Market of the Moment here, guys. Again, go get your Fearless Success, by Mr. John Foley. Great book. Take a look at that. Go find him on the internet. You can get all great stuff on his website as well. Don't forget to watch Smiling and Dialing, Don, every Friday.
Every Friday at 9 a.m. So if you're not following us currently, just reach out and I can get you added to my invite list for each week. And you're welcome to join. You can just check it out and watch. You can participate however you like.
And you also spoke about our fan page.
Yes.
If you're not on our Fidelity Facebook fan page, it's FAN, F-A-N.
Fidelity Agent Network fan.
FAN.
Yep.
There you go. So join our network because you get to see great stuff. Like Don mentioned, he's got the Smiling and Dialing taped on there. Guys, this is incredible. We're all out there prospecting for business right now, and what a great way to hear from some experts doing that and what their messaging is and their coaching on it. So thank you again for being there with us every single week. Appreciate you.
And we're glad to be here.
We're glad to be here. Ciao.